Right now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, we're following a story out west where crews are continuing to battle more than a dozen wildfires. We'll have the latest ahead.
I'm tracking a terrible story here in central Kentucky. The Pulaski County coroner tells us a child has died after a hit and run. Details on the investigation ahead.
Also, a crash in Jessamine County sent a man to the hospital. Police are saying the injuries are very serious in this case. We'll have details on the crash ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Sean Moody. Bill Bryant's got the morning off.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and Micah Harris is tracking all the latest for us in the Weather Center.
Yeah, we have one lone shower over toward eastern Kentucky. Now, that's right there in Morgan County, and there's not much to any of this. So it's really fading away as it travels down toward the south and southeast. It's very humid this morning. We're at 75 degrees right now in Lexington, Richmond, and also Frankfort. And actually, when it's this muggy outside, you can actually feel it in the studio, too. It's just a muggy feel. By the afternoon, we're holding on to showers and thunderstorms. Some of these storms will be strong, potentially severe storms, guys. We're going to be looking at those storms. I'm going to show you the timing on this with an hour-by-hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Micah, thank you. We start out this morning out west, where fire crews are fighting more than a dozen wildfires fueled by extreme heat.
It's a messy situation out there. Two fires are burning just 2 miles apart north of Los Angeles. It's already scorched thousands of acres in the San Gabriel Mountains. Andrea Fuji has the latest from Duarte, California, where hundreds of people have had to leave their homes.
The pair of fast-moving wildfires continue to burn through brush in the San Gabriel Mountains overnight as firefighters work to keep them from merging.
There's a lot of homes here, and they're really close to this fire.
The reservoir and fish fires erupted Monday amid an intense heat wave, prompting hundreds of evacuations north of Los Angeles.
We ask you to take your medication with you and to bring some items of clothing just in case the evacuation lasts longer than a day or two.
The first of the fires in the Azusa area was sparked by a fatal car crash. Less than 2 hours later, the second began burning in the city of Duarte. Charlie Downing and his neighbor fought to keep the flames from reaching their homes as firefighters rushed in.
I feel really lucky, really lucky. I mean, having it start right next door like that, it's scary.
Others packed up their pets and belongings and got out.
You know, you just hope for the best and for all of our neighbors and our friends too, and we hope everybody's okay.
The fast-moving fire hit on a day. Temperatures hit triple digits across Southern California. The heat and rugged terrain making it difficult for firefighters to get an upper hand. Ash falling from the sky led to more misery for many residents.
Watching that fire made it even worse, and so now we have this ash that's falling, so we definitely need the air on.
The heat wave will continue in parts of the state today before expanding to the middle of the country. Andrea Fuji, CBS News, Duarte, California.
Well, the extreme heat is also affecting other parts of the Southwest, including Arizona and New Mexico, where 3 wildfires are still burning. Back here in Kentucky, we're tracking a story out of Pulaski County.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Investigators there say a child has died in what they're calling a hit and run. WKYT's Mark Barber's at our live desk now with the details. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Sean. And there are very few details this morning about the crash that killed a 10-year-old. We have been calling investigators for more information, but here's what we know so far. We have learned that deputies are searching for a driver who took off after they hit the child. The crash happened on Rocklick Creek Road near Science Hill last night. The coroner says the 10-year-old was rushed to the hospital. However, the child was not able to pull through and died at the hospital. This morning, we are calling the coroner's office, state police, and the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office for more information about the deadly hit and run. As soon as we learn any new details, as always, we'll get it straight to you here on WKYT and on our website, WKYT.com. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Also new this morning, a crash in Jessamine County sent a man to the hospital with what police called grave injuries.
This happened just before 11 o'clock last night on Highway 39 in Nicholasville. WKYT's Mike Byer is live with details on the crash. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Rebecca. I'm a little less than a mile from downtown Nicholasville on Highway 39 between Brook Street and Maple Street. This roadway has just reopened after last night's accident, an accident that has left a man in grave condition. Now, the accident happened around 10:45. It was a single vehicle crash. Police say the car came around a curve, hit a utility pole, and then hit a local business called Faulkner and Fane. There was only one person involved. He received what police are calling grave injuries. Police say he needed to be extricated, and then it took a little while to get him out of the vehicle. A life flight was initially called but was canceled once he was removed. Police say it's a 35-mile-per-hour speed limit where the accident happened, and it's a tricky spot because you come over a hill into a curve. They say it appears speed was a factor in the crash. They also think alcohol could be involved and are looking in to see if that's the case. Now, the man's name has not been released, but we are told he is in his mid-20s. Now, workers from the city of Nicholasville just wrapped up fixing this utility pole behind me. There's also a big hole in the side of Faulkner and Fane. It appears the business is stable right now, and the workers from city of Nicholasville also believe that speed was a factor because they say up on top of the roof there are pieces of glass from the man's car. So just a scary situation last night, and once again that man is in bad condition this morning. Live in Nicholasville, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. A man who police say escaped from a Georgia prison back in 1979 will appear in a Kentucky courtroom today. We first told you about this story last week. Police say Billy Birchfield escaped from a Georgia prison back in 1979 while serving a 16-year sentence for manslaughter. Now, for years, they say Birchfield had been living in Laurel County and using his dead cousin's name, Harold Arnold. Friends say the man even owned a business under that assumed name. Police say he submitted to fingerprint testing, and they say his identity was confirmed as Birchfield. Laurel County court workers say this morning he's expected to be in court for a preliminary hearing. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says they will send him back to Georgia as soon as possible. Now, according to an Associated Press article, despite the fingerprint testing, the man police say is Birchfield still says that he is not.
A Boyle County golf course has an unusual hazard. This was a pond at the Old Bridge Golf Course with a sinkhole about 3.5 feet wide and 20 feet deep. Nearly drained the pond in just a matter of minutes. Look at all that mess. It happened in the middle of a tournament over the weekend.
My brother called me and said, "You should come look at this." The pond has literally sunk and there's no water left in it. Everyone thinks that it's the highlight of the golf course, and now it's gone within a matter of minutes.
Pollard says the good news is that the sinkhole is not affecting the actual course, so golfers can continue to play. Employees at the golf course say they are still trying to figure out if they will put water back in that pond or fill it in with dirt. We've learned the name of a man found dead along the Kentucky River. State police say Kean Wickers of Frankfort was found dead in a kayak yesterday morning. He was found near a private boat ramp used by Frankfort's water treatment facility. State police say his death is being investigated as a drowning.
Lexington police are looking for two men who they say robbed a restaurant at gunpoint. It happened just before 6 o'clock last night around dinner time at the Jimmy John's on Waller Avenue. That's near St. Joseph Hospital. Police say one man pointed a gun at the person working the register and demanded money. When they got it, they ran off. A couple of UK students there shortly after said they were shocked the place was robbed when it was.
I've seen some questionable people walking up and down the street here, but I never thought anything like that would ever happen as close to my home as it has.
The store's owner tells us it was a scary situation for the workers inside the store. The robbery is still under investigation.
Part of a busy Lexington road is back open this morning after changes to construction plans. City leaders say the inbound lanes of South Broadway between South Broadway Park and Bocoto Court reopened at 5 o'clock this morning. Crews are repairing a sewer line. City leaders delayed those repairs, so crews will work overnight to fix the sewer to help with morning traffic. If you're driving that area between 7 at night and 5 o'clock in the morning, inbound traffic will use the middle turn lane there. The city thinks that the lanes will be closed for 2 or 3 nights. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is expected to make an announcement today on criminal justice reforms. Governor Bevin and Justice and Public Safety Cabinet Secretary John Tilley will make the announcement at noon today at the State Capitol building.
The Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville has received a major gift from the UPS Foundation. It comes a little more than 2 weeks after Ali's death. Leaders of the UPS Foundation say they wanted to donate $500,000 to the center to support education initiatives and to honor Ali's legacy. The center, founded by Ali and his wife Lonnie, marked its 10th anniversary last fall.
Something that I think beyond just the support it provides for the center and its programs also is an acknowledgement and a reminder that the center is not just a place to come and look at things. It is an active participant in our community, playing an educational role.
The Ali Center leaders say they're planning a global fundraising campaign for programs that continue Ali's humanitarian efforts.
Well, new this morning, a Louisville judge has given the city the go-ahead to remove a Confederate monument by dismissing a lawsuit trying to keep it at its original site. The judge determined the city had the right to remove the statue near the University of Louisville. It was built as a tribute to dead Confederate soldiers. Louisville's mayor has pledged to have the monument cleaned and moved to a new location. That new location has not yet been chosen. Leaders of a national park in Kentucky say that they want to raise fees for some tours and other programs. Mammoth Cave leaders want to start charging $6 per student for the environmental education program, which is currently free. They also want to raise the cost of the educational cave tour by $1 a person. They say fees have helped pay for concession facilities and backcountry repairs. Park wants feedback about the proposed rate changes, which are scheduled to start in January.
A week-long event that helps children across central Kentucky is underway now here in Lexington. Children's charity The Bluegrass kicked off the 36th annual Children's Charity Classic with a tee-off reception at Andover Golf and Country Club. The organization gave checks to 38 different charities totaling more than $370,000, which was all raised during last year's Classic.
We want to be able to give back to these charities because they do so much for these kids, whether it's feeding them, mentoring them, giving them health care.
The week will conclude with the Children's Charity Classic Golf Tournament, and you can watch it right here on WKYT beginning at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. 5:41 now on your Tuesday morning, and it's time to check live drive traffic.
Yeah, let's see what's happening out there on the roads. Not hearing of too many issues for you out there. Things looking good from that current traffic map.
Yeah, all green all the way across. That's what we like to see on a Tuesday
Tuesday green
morning.
Is good.
5:41 again on your Tuesday, and there's still a lot more to come.
A New Jersey couple had a surprise guest show up at their pool. We'll see what little creature that is. Well, we can see what that creature is unless you have really bad eyes, I guess.
It was 90 degrees yesterday. I think everybody wanted to be in some type of water. Now, here's the deal. We get into your afternoon. Heavy rainfall is a possibility, along with damaging winds. That is also a possibility. I'm going to show you an hour-by-hour forecast coming up next. We are here for our WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We're going to have it today. We will have one tomorrow and maybe even off into Thursday. So you could have 3 consecutive days of First Alert Severe Weather Days. And that's just to keep you updated with the severe weather concerns. Outside right now, there's really nothing to be concerned about. Is that rain is now fading away. Here's the front just to the north of us. This is your cold front. But really, there's no cold air back behind that. So it's just a front right now, and it's starting to fizzle on out. And what's going to happen is right now it's a front heading southbound. However, next couple of days it'll turn into a warm front and drive back toward the north. Let me take you hour by hour and show you what you can expect the rest of the day. Through the morning hours, I just don't see that great of a chance of rain. Now we get into your afternoon, noon to about 2 p.m. Look what sparks up it's around the 64 corridor. This is not what happens. It doesn't spark up right over the 64 corridor. If you are anywhere near the 64 corridor, anywhere near it in your county, just know that the storm should spark up right over you, and that does include Lexington around 2 p.m. So give or take, maybe around noontime to about 3 p.m., there's that possibility as your 3-hour window that I typically give you. And then it slides southbound. Northern zones, northern Kentucky, you do not have a good chance of seeing strong, potentially severe storms today. It's really that I-64 corridor and southbound, especially southern Kentucky and southeastern Kentucky. There's 5 p.m. Here's 8 and 9 p.m. It's really faded away. So most of this is going to come anywhere from 1 p.m. to about 7 p.m. That is your best bet. See strong, potentially severe storms. And then we take a big, long break. Overnight, there's not much going on. We head towards your Wednesday morning. I still don't see much tomorrow morning, but watch what happens from the north and northwest. Here come more storms diving on in here. This is going to be the trend the next few days, guys. It's not going to change that much. You're going to get one round after another. There's noontime, and here comes some storms barreling on through. If you're trying to plan some activities with the kids, tomorrow morning's your best opportunity because we get into the afternoon, it just doesn't look that good for Wednesday either. Now, how much rain are we expecting? Well, let me show you this one particular model that I find interesting. Look at this. Now we're talking about one storm after another, one round after another. Now remember, you're not going to end up with 5.78 inches in Maysville. If you do, I'm never showing another weather model again. I'm going to stick to this one. But it just shows you how much this actually varies. Around an inch there in Laurel County, 2 inches there in Richmond, 1 inch Mount Sterling, 5.7 inches in Maysville in northern Kentucky, 3.68 there in Moorhead. So it's just showing you, for the most part, about an inch to 2 inches of rain now through Thursday. But there are some zones that could pick up if you get one storm after another. Remember, this is heavy rain. So that could pick up anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain now through Thursday. So you get these one storm after another, you get these heavy storms, and they'll really put down some tremendous amounts of rain. That's why localized flooding, damaging winds will be our main player the next few days, guys. Friday, Saturday looks much better, much warmer though as you get the rain and cloud cover on out of here. But obviously our focus is today, tomorrow, and also on Thursday too.
We want to put those outdoor umbrellas into the garage.
Absolutely, that's a good idea.
Thanks, Micah.
Temperatures rising, of course, and people are trying to find ways to stay cool this summer.
Yeah, but it's not just people trying to beat the heat. There's a surprise guest that showed up to take a dip in a New Jersey couple's pool. Who could it be? Well, we'll find out here in just a second. There you go. That bear decided to go for a swim in their pool. They just let him have it. I would too. I wouldn't tell the bear no. Joan McNeil was sitting by the pool when it happened. She says she didn't even see the bear come up. After she realized it was there, though, she made sure to keep her distance. Probably a pretty good idea.
One would.
Yep. Wildlife experts warn people to stay inside and not approach a bear if they come across one or if it shows up in your pool.
Yeah, no matter how cuddly they look, right?
Yeah.
That one just needed to cool off a little bit. Nice dip in the pool.
Everybody loves a good swim, right?
Yeah. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
Plus, a look at any traffic impacts we've got this morning. Welcome back to WKYT this morning, 5:52 now on your Tuesday.
We hope yours is off to a great start. Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you on this Tuesday.
Tough story out of Pulaski County this morning where investigators say a child has died after a hit-and-run crash. It happened last night on Rocklick Creek Road near Science Hill. The Pulaski County coroner tells us a 10-year-old boy was hit by a car and later died at the hospital. At last check, investigators were still searching for the driver of the car. They haven't released any other details.
A Georgia fugitive arrested in southern Kentucky last week is scheduled to be in court this morning. Laurel County court workers say Billy Birchfield has a preliminary hearing scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning. Police say he escaped from a Georgia prison back in 1979 while serving a 16-year sentence for manslaughter. For years, they say Birchfield had been using his dead cousin's name and living in Laurel County.
Nicholasville police say a man has grave injuries after crashing into a utility pole and then a business. It was on Highway 39. Police say it happened just before 11 o'clock last night. Police say they think speed might have been a factor in the crash, but they're still investigating a cause. We're told the man was taken to St. Joseph Hospital in Jessamine County. We do not know his condition this morning.
Donald Trump looking to refocus his campaign ahead of the general election matchup against Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee. That tops your national headlines this morning.
Yesterday, the presumptive Republican nominee fired campaign manager Corey Lewandowski at the urging of his family and other Republicans. The latest Monmouth University poll has Trump trailing behind the former Secretary of State in a head-to-head contest for president.
Fire crews out west are trying to get the upper hand on more than a dozen wildfires fueled by extreme heat. At least 2 of them burning north of Los Angeles have already scorched thousands of acres in the San Gabriel Mountains and have prompted evacuations. The excessive heat is expected to continue in parts of California, Arizona, and New Mexico today.
And Attorney General Loretta Lynch travels to Orlando today to meet with victims of last week's mass shooting. Yesterday, federal investigators released transcripts of some of the conversations between gunman Omar Mateen and police negotiators during the incident. A law enforcement source told CBS News authorities now have a video of Mateen practicing with the rifle they say he used in the terror attack.
Now for today's top health headlines. The FDA has given an experimental Zika vaccine the green light for safety testing in people.
And researchers hope the vaccine will help prime the immune system to combat the mosquito-borne virus, which is linked to birth defects. Australian researchers say women with the BRCA gene who are at high risk of developing aggressive breast cancer may now have a new non-surgical option. Doctors say an existing medicine used to treat osteoporosis known as denosumab has shown promise in helping to delay or prevent breast cancer.
Doctors in Sweden report the better educated you are, the higher your chances of developing a brain tumor. Researchers found 3 years of a college education hiked men's risk by 19%, 23% for women. That's unbelievable. The data suggests people in managerial, professional roles at an even higher risk. How odd. I wonder why that is. Let's get a check right now on today's traffic travel spots with a look at LiDAR traffic, see how things are moving out there on the roads for you.
And here's a look at the traffic map. Right now, it looks like everything is in the green across central Kentucky. Traffic moving along smoothly as people start rolling out of their homes on this Tuesday morning, heading into work. Not bad out there.
Not bad at all. All right, we do have a first alert severe weather day to let you know about, and Micah is going to share the latest with us right now on that.
We're looking toward the afternoon and off into the evening hours. That's your best bet. And a lot of this is going to be during that 2 p.m. to about 8 p.m. time frame. That is your best bet to actually see these storms roll on through. Now, damaging winds are going to be our main player, and also looking for localized flooding. So that's really what we're going to be watching out for. That 64 corridor and southbound, that is your best bet. It looks like as of right now, they'll develop along the 64 corridor, at least around that, whether it be just to the north or just to the south. And then it slides southbound. So southern half of our viewing area down toward the southeast, that is your best opportunity to see these storms. Northern zones, you don't really have a good chance of actually seeing these storms as they roll on through. It actually develops just to the south of you. So you guys more of a 20-30%. Lexington, 64 corridor, I'd say more of a 50-60%. And then down south, you're talking more of an 70-80%. If you're about to take off, have a good day and keep up to date with us on social media. If you're not, we'll see you right back here in just a couple of minutes.